Welcome back, dear friends, to Meghan and Harry Tales, hosted by yours truly, Adrian, where the truth always shines brighter than the tabloids. Today, we're marking a deeply special moment for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, a milestone brimming with love, legacy, and a touch of royal history. Because today is the 6th anniversary of Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor's christening. It's hard to believe it's been 6 years since that warm July day in 2019, when an intimate group gathered in the private chapel at Windsor Castle to witness a royal christening unlike any other. But while the setting may have been different, and the approach refreshingly modern, the love, tradition and symbolism ran just as deep, perhaps deeper. In this special episode, we're taking you on a journey back to the serene chapel where a newborn Archie was lovingly cradled in his mother's arms, and forward again to California, where he's now a spirited 6-year-old being raised alongside his sister Princess Lilibet, in the sunshine of a life Harry and Meghan built with purpose and privacy. So settle in with a warm cup of tea or your favourite California rose, because today's story is not just about a christening, it's about legacy, freedom and a family growing in love. Let's rewind to July 6th, 2019, Windsor Castle, the private chapel. It was a day marked by quiet dignity and heartfelt connection. Archie, just 2 months old, was at the centre of a deeply personal ceremony, one that felt more sacred for its intimacy. Unlike the bustling public spectacle that some royal watchers expected, Meghan and Harry chose to keep this moment private, away from the grandeur of St. George's Chapel, where they had been married the year before, and where Harry himself had been christened in 1984. This choice was no small thing. It was a statement not of rebellion, but of protection, of reclaiming space for their child and family in a system where everything is usually on display. Instead of throngs of media and hundreds of attendees, there were just a few dozen guests, family, close friends, and those who truly mattered. The then Prince Charles and Camilla were there. So were the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, and perhaps most touchingly, Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland, made the long journey from California to be by her daughter's side. That day, Meghan looked radiant in Dior, cradling Archie with both maternal pride and graceful resolve. Harry, seated beside her, beamed a father's joy, lighting up the room. And little Archie? He wore history. Archie's christening gown was no ordinary garment. It was a meticulously crafted replica of the iconic Honiton lace and satin gown worn by generations of royal babies, from Queen Victoria's firstborn to the modern Windsors. This replica, designed by Angela Kelly, Queen Elizabeth's trusted dressmaker, had become the go-to for royal christenings in recent years, a symbolic link to tradition that even Harry and Meghan embraced. The cream lace shimmered against the soft lighting of the chapel, a poetic contrast to the Sussex's otherwise modern approach. That balance between honouring heritage and carving new paths is what makes this family so compelling. The official photographs from the day, taken by Chris Allerton, captured this spirit perfectly. Meghan holding Archie with serene tenderness, Harry by her side, proud yet protective. The family standing in that sacred space, etched forever in time. But even then, the Sussexes were already signalling a different kind of royal story, one where their children would grow up shielded from the invasive gaze of the public, yet still connected to the history they inherited. Fast forward to 2025. Meghan and Harry are now settled in Montecito, California. Their lives have changed immeasurably since that christening, from stepping back from royal duties in 2020 to launching Archewell, and most importantly, raising their 2 children in the peace they long sought. Archie is now 6, Lilibet 3. We rarely see their faces, and that's by design. For the Duke and Duchess, protecting their children's privacy is not just a personal preference, it's a moral stance. After what they've endured with the press, they're not taking chances. And yet, through carefully curated glimpses on social media and in documentaries, we've come to know a family full of love, laughter, and joy. This year, Meghan gave us a rare treat. On July 4th, in a series of posts that celebrated both Independence Day and the roots of her relationship with Harry, the Duchess shared a touching anecdote. She reminisced about their second date, yes, the early days when love was still brand new. That date just so happened to fall on the 4th of July, And what did Harry do? He brought cupcakes, patriotic ones no less. Simple, sweet and symbolic, it was a small gesture that said, "I see you, I care, I'm in this." Now, years later, that little tradition continues, but this time it's Archie and Lilibet who join in. Meghan shared an image of 7 cupcakes adorned with red, white and blue icing. A few featured peace signs piped with care, and a tiny pair of hands held up the plate proudly. No faces, no fanfare, just a quiet, powerful reminder that family traditions, however humble, are the heartbeat of home. Just weeks before this, Meghan had marked another occasion, Father's Day. In a post set to Jason Mraz's acoustic cover of Have It All, Meghan shared rare footage of Harry in his element, not as a prince, not as a figure of controversy, but as a dad. We saw Harry teaching Archie to ride a bike, his gentle hands steadying the seat. We saw him dancing with his son, arms flung wide, smiles lighting up the room. We saw him reading to baby Archie, surrounded by picture books and soft blankets. These are the moments that matter. These are the stories tabloids never tell, the ones that show Harry as he is, and as he always wanted to be, present, involved, joyful. There were swings and waterfalls, giggles and snuggles, not a palace in sight, yet every bit a royal story. As we mark 6 years since Archie's christening, we're reminded that that day was more than a ceremony. It was a declaration that this family would do things differently, that love would come before duty, that privacy would come before publicity, that their children would be raised not as headlines but as human beings. Archie's christening set the tone for everything that followed the decision to step back. The move to California, the refusal to trade their children's safety for public approval. Of course, the critics didn't understand then, and many still don't. When Harry and Meghan chose a private ceremony, the British press cried foul. "Where are the details?" they demanded. "Where's the transparency?" As if becoming parents entitled the world to their most sacred moments. But what those critics missed and still miss is that the Sussexes were never trying to be secretive. They were trying to be protective. And now, 6 years later, we can say with certainty they were right to do so. Because while the rest of the royals continue to be paraded out for optics, Archie and Lilibet are thriving in quiet, in nature, in the love of parents who walk the walk. So what is Archie like today? From the glimpses we've had, he's energetic, curious and full of personality. He loves nature, often photographed hiking or riding with his family. He's got Harry's playful spirit and Meghan's quiet thoughtfulness. We know he loves books. He's often seen in scenes with Harry reading, pointing at pictures, giggling with delight. He's also a big brother now, and by all accounts a protective and loving one. Lilibet may be 3, but Archie seems to take his role seriously, often helping her during activities or holding her hand. And perhaps most importantly, he's happy. He's growing up in a home where he's celebrated not for his title, but for his heart. It's tempting to brush off a christening anniversary as a minor moment, just a date on the calendar. But in the Sussex story, every milestone carries weight. This one reminds us of how far they've come. From the chapel at Windsor to a home in Montecito, the journey has not been easy, but it's been authentic. And that's what makes today so beautiful. Because in celebrating Archie's christening anniversary, we're really celebrating the triumph of a family who chose love over legacy, peace over protocol. So there you have it, dear friends, 6 years since the christening that changed everything. Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor may have been born into royalty, but he's being raised in something far more powerful: love, freedom and joy. To Harry and Meghan, thank you for showing the world that there's another way, a kinder way, a braver way. And to Archie, happy anniversary, little one. The world may not see your face every day, but we see the light you bring. Until next time, I've been Adrian, and this has been Meghan and Harry Tales, where stories matter, truth matters, and above all, family matters.